In this video, we will talk about tools which help us to maintain our code more clean and follow our guidelines. So, first of all, let's start from various IDE. IDE is integration development environment. Usually it's your WebStorm or INTELLIJ, or it might be Visual Code, anything what you want. So mostly all these tools help you to create your code more cleaner and automatically check everything what you need. Also, there are a lot of additional tools you can install or use for your project or for your specific language. For example, SonarQube. SonarQube it's a tool which you can run on your computer locally from Docker, for example, or install on your computer, and it will analyze your code. For example, it can show statistic, what approaches you are using, what variables you are using, what parts of code you are using, or for example what different languages you are using. If it's web development, it shows how much HTML, CSS and JavaScript is in your code. Also it can show some code smells, what was and what is bad in your code and you should change. Also it knows about some vulnerabilities and errors, general errors in software, so it can show that this implementation can be changed or updated because it's not secure. Also there are additional tools such as ESLint or Prettier which can reformat and update your code. You need just to run this tool and it will change everything what it can update, and it helps you to do not waste your time, because of everything what the machine can do, it should do, and you don't need to waste your time for such things. Also, here we can take a look on INTELLIJ IDEA code style. So here in this IDEA we have special tab in settings for specific language or for different languages. For example, in our case it's JavaScript, and here you can specify a lot of options how do you want this code should look, and really it's very useful and I use it very often in my experience. So you can describe here rules and then your IDE will show some hints or will show you some errors what should be updated, and it will prevent a lot of errors, and your code will look the same for all developers. You just need to configure the same rules for each developer. You can use it you can do it manually on each computer, or you can create some file with rules and just upload this file. For example, here we have a schema with these following rules and you can manage it. Also, what we need to remember, it's a practice of code refactoring. So refactoring helps implement standards with a minimal impact. So why do we need this refactoring and how it looks? Refactoring is, we can say, it's a second or third look on your code, and you can leave the same interface, the same function names and how it looks outside, but inside you can change and update your code. For example, you had the first implementation of your code, it was dirty code, but it worked and it was okay for you for the first time, but you left it as a technical debt. Then you decided to return to your code and update it, and from the first version which was terrible inside and not efficient or with some bugs or some cases when it couldn't not work, you decided to rewrite and refactor to do it better as it's possible within your time range and what time you have for refactoring. And to do refactoring more efficient, we have IDE which helps us to do it faster. For example, renaming of variables and classes. In case you have a big project with a lot of number of different files, different namespaces, modules, and you decided to rename your class because of there might be another class in another module, or you decided that it should be more readable with another name, and in case you will do it manually, you need to find all class imports, where it was imported, how it was used, and rename it manually, and in this case you can miss some part and your code won't work as expected. With IDE you can do it automatically, and this tool will find all your classes when it was used and replace it automatically without your effort. so it will be much more safer and faster. So try to use these tools as much as it's possible. And general rules for using code convention and code style tools. So, and in general about code convention. So always follow your standards. You need to define these standards and follow them. Try to follow design principles. Same, it's keys, solid. Try to create a convention and be consistent on this. So if you decide to describe convention in one project, you can use it in another project, or if you have some convention on the beginning of your project, you should follow this convention during your project and do not change it with the time. Also, always remember about Boy Scout rule. It's very important and interesting rule. It means that the code or a place after you should be better if it was before you. In case with code, so we start refactoring some piece of code, some function or some class, and we can implement refactoring practice here and do it better, do it readable, maybe remove some bugs or remove some technical debt, and after that this code will be better and it will help you in the future, and it will make your life better. Really, it's from experience, I can say. Also, what we need is root cause analysis. So in case you're faced with some bug or some issue with the code, you need to find out the reason why it was created, why it was done in this way, and fix the main reason, not the result, but a reason. And then you will avoid these bugs again, because of if you will skip fixing the reason, in the future this bug or this problem will face you again and you will get more and more problems. So try to avoid it and do it right now. Fix the bug, fix the reason, and then your life will be easier and better.